Welcome back to our summer series, and today we're going to talk about National University's Criminal Justice Administration Program, also known as the CGA. I'd like to introduce you to Professor Damon Martin, who's a licensed attorney with over 20 years of legal experience. Professor Martin has come to National in 2012, where he started as an associate faculty member, and then in 2014, Professor Martin was promoted to full-time faculty, and in 2018, he became the academic director of the Bachelor of Science Criminal Justice Administration Program. So, thank you, Professor Martin, for coming today.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me. So, I'm very happy to speak to you this morning about our criminal justice program. It's a bachelor's degree, and we think we have one of the best programs in the United States for criminal justice administration. So how does our program work? Our program is made up of 7 upper division electives. So these are courses that we have kind of hand selected for this environment, this time we're in. So these are electives that we have discussed with our community partners who have given us feedback to say we really want a graduate with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice administration to have these skill sets. And so we have garnered and geared our electives to fit those exact requirements or expectations. The idea is, of course, that you would leave here at National being ready to hit the job market, right? We have 9 core courses. These are courses that every student takes. And they are, again, designed to help you do your best in the field of criminal justice. And then we have 1 capstone course. As you may know, National University has a unique format. We are 1 course, 1 month format. So every course lasts about 30 days. Our capstone is a 2-month course, so it lasts 2 months or 60 days, and it's designed around a student selecting a topic of interest and then writing about that and then submitting a high quality finished product that it's a written assignment that is then given feedback by the instructor. And so that is our capstone. Usually it's our last course. And we have started to infuse and partner with our own campus and other programs. For example, we have a communications program. And so we've partnered with them to bring in some of their courses and partner with our courses. And we want to do that because we know that communication is a huge component of criminal justice administration, right? How you interact with public, how you interact with other members of your organization. So we've infused more communication skill set into the program. So let's talk about curriculum. So curriculum for us is, in the last year or so, we have converted the program to asynchronous. So let me start by saying, well, what is asynchronous? So asynchronous, the way I like to describe it, is where a student can take a class at any time. And that's really the focus of National University, so that if you want to take a class tomorrow, you can take a class tomorrow. It's self-paced, so it allows the student to go at his or her own pace, but still, we're still inside that box of 1 month, 1 course, but maybe you really get the concepts, and so maybe you're moving quicker through the 1 month than other students. On the flip side, maybe you're having some struggles with some difficult concepts like the Fourth Amendment or search and seizure. And so still inside that 1 month, maybe you need additional time on 1 or 2 additional concepts. So it's not the traditional where you're sitting in front of an instructor, but it's more of your own self-pace. You're going through what we call modules or bite-sized concepts, and you move through those at your own pace. The reason why I bring up asynchronous is because we converted our program the last year into asynchronous, and when we did that conversion, we upgraded the program. So I'm still under the topic of curriculum, but we upgraded the programs. We looked at every single course, the learning outcomes in all those courses. Are we really meeting the needs of what, again, our partners are telling us and what we think the students need? So our goal is to push away from being so reliant on textbooks. Obviously, textbooks will change. They will go out of circulation, so that's a handicap for our students. So we don't want to rely so much on textbook, so that allows us to be more creative and think what other sources are out there. Maybe when look at YouTube videos, maybe there's TED Talks. What other resources are available? Again, we still have the same learning outcomes. We still want the students to learn the same concepts, but maybe there's another way in which we can introduce that idea. So we've upgraded the curriculum. Every course was assigned to an SME or subject matter expert. That person narrowed in and focused on the curriculum for that course, and it was upgraded or improved. So again, we partner with our strategic partners, and then we have a criminal justice advisory board made up of professionals in this area, judges, prosecutors, defense attorneys, and others, who looked at our curriculum and said, we think you should include this, or we think you should eliminate that. And so that was all part of this really collaborative effort to improve the curriculum. So we are very confident we have a high quality product to give to the public. Okay, let's talk about instructors. So all of our instructors, and this is very, very important to me, have to have these qualities. They have to be a practitioner. That means someone who's in the profession. So that could be a defense attorney like myself. I'm a career defense attorney. It could be a prosecutor. It could be a probation officer. It could be a police officer. But whoever this individual is, they have to be practitioners. They have to be doing it, right? Then they have to be high ranking. So you're not going to be a sergeant teaching in our criminal justice program. You have to be lieutenant, higher ranking. And then you have to have a advanced degree. So if you are a practitioner, you have an advanced degree, you are a high ranking member, and then number 4, you can prove that you have the ability to teach at a high level, then that's our instructors. All of our instructors have those 4 qualities. And so those are the individuals in my tenure that I've looked to bring on as faculty members have to have those qualities. We want instructors who can teach well, but also have that real world experience. I can recall back when I went to school, our instructors talk about, well, when we did this 20 years ago, that's not relevant necessarily to today. What's happening right now today? What we're going through right now as a nation, it's hard to use what the nation was doing 10 years ago as a measuring stick, right? It's 2 totally different worlds. So we need to know what's happening right now in the profession. So we want individuals who are in the profession right now. And again, bringing that real world right now kind of experience into the classroom. Okay, so let's talk about modalities. How do we present our product? How do we present the criminal justice program? So there are a number of ways in which a student can go through the program. So let's talk about pre-COVID for a second. Pre-COVID, we were in classrooms that I'm sure all of you are familiar with, right? There's an instructor and then there's students. We had that's on site. Pre-COVID, we had online. We led the nation nationally in online education. So we were doing online. We were comfortable with that. We knew that. We were doing hybrid before COVID, which was a combination of on ground, instructor to student, and then part of the time we would be online. So we had those modalities in place, and then we brought in asynchronous. So we had all that. I said that to say this: COVID obviously prevents us from having face-to-face. So that eliminates on ground, eliminates hybrid. It doesn't eliminate online, doesn't eliminate asynchronous. So while other institutions are having to pivot and struggle with our curriculum isn't set for online environment, our instructors aren't set for online environment, that's not us at National University. We were already in the space. So during COVID and into the foreseeable future, we'll continue to offer courses asynchronous. So again, that's that concept I discussed earlier where you are moving at your own pace and the instructor is more like a coach or a mentor, helping you along, helping you explore concepts. And we're continuing to offer our program online. So that hasn't changed for us. So the good thing is, since we were already operating this space in these modalities, our instructors are quite comfortable teaching modalities. So there's no real drop off for us. It's almost like we just continue going on, even as if COVID didn't exist, right? So our modalities are still there in place. At some point, we hope to return, like the rest of America, we hope to return to a traditional classroom. And if we do, fantastic. We have our hybrid courses are offered with our partnership. So we partner with community colleges and we offer a hybrid program for their students who are transitioning from community college into a bachelor's program. We have our hybrid partnership with local law enforcement agencies in the California, Los Angeles area. So, and also on our military bases. So In the future, if those opportunities present themselves again in a safe fashion, then we'll go back to what we used to do. But for now, we'll continue to offer high quality education in the form of online and then again asynchronous. Okay, let's talk about cost. So obviously cost is important. It's expensive to earn a bachelor's degree no matter where you go, and we appreciate that. So what we do have at National University is something called the Public Safety Initiative. And what the Public Safety Initiative is we say, look, we understand that some of you have been operating in this space for a number of years. And we understand that some of you probably have so much experience in some of these courses, you probably teach the course. So it doesn't make sense for us to require you to take a class that you've either taken parts of it in some training in the past, or you've just had enough experience in a holistic sense that it doesn't make sense for you to take that class. So you can't test out of classes at National University, but you can give something akin to prior learning credit. And so if you're a member of law enforcement, you went through POST, P-O-S-T, and if you're a member of law enforcement, you know what POST stands for. If you've gone through POST, you can demonstrate that, hey, I took this course at POST, and their learning outcomes are similar to a learning outcome or learning outcomes of some of our courses. Maybe we can match those so you don't have to replicate this class since you've already taken something very similar prior. So the Public Safety Initiative allows us to look at that. And what that does is it shortens your time to completion. Remember, I talked about those 9 courses, those 7 courses earlier, that's 16 that you need to graduate. So you may be able to, in a sense, eliminate some of those 16 because you have this prior learning experience that we can give you credit for. So we look at things, of course, like transcripts. We need to look at the courses you took to see and the syllabus or syllabi to see if they align with our learning outcomes. And if they do, we're happy to give that kind of credit. Also, there's a public safety scholarship. So if you're a member of law enforcement, and law enforcement is not just a police officer, but if you are a member of law enforcement, whether you are a sworn peace officer or not, you may qualify for our scholarship, which is additional 25% discount off of our tuition costs. So on the one hand, we want to shorten your time to completion, right? On the other hand, we want to make it so it's cost effective and efficient for you. So there's a cost savings with our public safety, either the Public Safety Initiative or the Public Safety Scholarship. And you can speak to any of our advisors about that. And I tell students all the time, I'm always a resource. I am the program director, so I do oversee the program, but that doesn't mean that I'm not able to interface with faculty. I do that every day. I interface with students. So if you have questions about, can I get credit for this program can I get credit for this prior learning, use me as a resource, please. So our cost savings. Let me talk to you about, and hopefully I've already addressed enough of your concerns about the quality of the program, but looking a step above the program, just looking at National University itself, we are WASC accredited. So we have the same accreditation that any other school has in the western part of the United States, the USC, the UCLA. We all go through the same accrediting body. And so our university has received another 10-year accreditation. So that's a feather in our cap. So I say that to say this. You can feel confident when you leave the program that your degree has value, right? You're going to be able to show your degree on your resume and know that you can compete with any other student from any other university who has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. You have a certain confidence knowing that what I learned is the same thing they learned. The concepts that they studied are the same concepts I studied, right? We National University, were very fortunate to receive a very generous gift from a very generous donor named Denny Sanford. And I say that to say this, because he decided to infuse a huge amount of capital in our university. That I only say to say this: we aren't going out of business tomorrow. I understand that many institutions are going to struggle during COVID-19. National University is going to be one of those. So again, your degree has value from the standpoint of WASC says it's great. your degree has value because the university is still going to be here. We're almost 50 years old and we're not going anywhere. So we're not going to be one of those institutions that what happened to them, right? And that may diminish the value of your education. That's not going to happen in National University. And as I said, as far as this particular program, we have spent a lot of money, time, and energy making sure that we have a high quality product to present to the public. Okay, so let's talk about safe learning. I'm starting to wrap up. Again, until it's safe for us to be face-to-face, we'll continue to offer high-quality online education. We'll continue to offer asynchronous education until we're able to present and go back to what most of us were familiar with. But again, we were already operating in this space, so we're already comfortable in this space, and we're already, again, giving high-quality education in this space. So, again, the program, high quality, not just, my biased interpretation, but U.S. News and World Report has ranked us as a high-ranking program for criminal justice. So it's outside entities who are looking at our program and say, you guys have a good product to give to the public. So our program is just not just for, future cops, right? Remember I told you it's the public safety initiative? So we're looking at public safety, again, that's holistic. It could be police officers, and there are plenty of police officers in that program. It's fantastic. Probation officers, correctional officers, other members who in public safety who aren't sworn peace officers, they don't carry a firearm. So if you have a desire to pursue a career, Homeland Security, Border Patrol, anything in that space, this is the right program for you. And guess what? Even if you're not sure exactly what career you want, but you think you may be interested in criminal justice, you want to learn more about it, again, feel free to reach out to contact me or contact one of our advisors, and I'll be happy to help you kind of figure out which avenue is best for you. Okay, so let's wrap up by looking at, in my notes I call uncertain job environment. This is unprecedented for our nation. And many people are losing their jobs, unemployment's at record highs. We know all of that. But I think we all can agree that in this uncertain time, public safety is at a high rank for most of us, if not all of us, right? We want to feel safe and secure. So I said that to say this industry, is not going anywhere. Companies will go out of business. Governments aren't going to go out of business, right? Government isn't going to fold up its tent and go home. They're not going to do that. So if you do your own Google research, law enforcement agencies around the country are hiring. Federal, state, local levels are still hiring, right? So because there's a need for public safety during this space. So what do these potential employers, these public safety professionals, what do they want? They want individuals who come to them with a bachelor's degree because they want highly educated individuals, they want trained individuals, and they want individuals who are going to make good decisions even under difficult or stressful times. So you don't need a bachelor's degree to join an agency in law enforcement, typically speaking. You don't need it. However, you will need it to advance. It does put a feather in your cap if you're competing against individuals who don't have a bachelor's degree. And you earning a bachelor's degree tells the employer this: you're more likely to make the right kind of decisions that are going to do what? Keep you from getting sued and keep the agency from getting sued, right? You're going to make those kind of decisions that are going to be beneficial to your career and be a feather cap for the agency that brings you on board. And so we can guarantee you that if you come through our program, you select National University in which the vehicle for you to earn your bachelor's degree, you're going to get a high quality education by professionals who know what they're doing, who are in the environment, who are in the space. We're going to ensure that you are best prepared to enter the workspace and compete against others who are going to be seeking those same positions, right? We're going to make sure that the program itself is high quality. You're getting the type of education you're going to need to be competitive. On a higher level, we've made sure that the university is WASC accredited and the university is financially sound. So we're going to stay in business. So those are things that I think you can take comfort with in knowing that you're going to get a quality education. Listen, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been in the field for 20 years. I've been in national for over 8 years. I know the space. I know the education that we're putting forth. And I know the curriculum, and you're going to be well suited to do very well in your chosen field by earning a bachelor's degree at National University. So again, I thank you for your time. I thank you for sitting through this webinar. If you have questions, there's ways in which you can contact me personally. I'm at dmartin, DMARTIN at nu.edu. And I'm sure if you contact one of our advisors, they can assist you with either reaching out to me or answering your question directly. Again, thank you for your time. Be safe. Take care.
Wow. Thank you so much, Professor. I think I want to switch majors now. That was amazing. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
If you don't mind, I'm just going to ask you some questions.
Sure.
So you had mentioned that you offer the prior learning credits, such as the post. Is there any type of military training that can also be counted towards credit?
Yes. So it's the same concept. So if you provide us your transcripts, we'll be happy to take a look at those. And transcript in a sense of, okay, I took a class, but it could also just be, hey, I took a training seminar. So we are really looking at ways that we can shorten the time of completion for students. So if you have military or law enforcement or other education that you want us to take a look at, we're happy to do that.
Okay, great. What's the average or starting salary after a CGA degree, would you say?
So it depends on what profession you go into. So, LAPD is starting at 65,000. This is before overtime. So you can look across the country and say an average is going to be mid 50s, but again, that will depend on which agency you go into. Okay. So, but it's not just the starting salary, but that is important. But if you're going to go into this area, this profession, you're going to get outstanding benefits that should be considered. Of course, the medical, dental, vision, you're going to get the retirement, which is going to be important. Maybe not, if you're a younger person, you may not be thinking that far down the line, but as you get older, those are going to be important things to think of, including your health benefits. So there's wonderful opportunities beyond just the paycheck.
Right. I noticed that National also offers a master's in CGA. Could you tell me what kinds of jobs that I could get with a master's degree that I wouldn't be able to get with just the bachelor's?
So if you decide you wanted to move up the ranks to, say, a lieutenant, then they're going to require you to have an advanced degree, right?
Okay.
If you decide that you want to, do something like I do and actually teach a profession, you'll need an advanced degree. Okay. If you're going to go in specialized area like forensics, forensic science, and you're going to be required to get an advanced degree.
Okay, that makes sense. Can you also tell me about National's transition program?
You mean from community college into our bachelor's program?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought I had read somewhere something about how you have a transition program from the undergraduate to the master's. So like the last 6 units.
Right. So if you are a student who's earning your bachelor's degree and you're towards the end and you decide you want to pursue a master's degree, then we have decided that your last 6 courses that you take with us will transition into the first 6 courses of your master's program. Again, shorten your time of completion, not so much for the bachelor's degree, but for your master's degree, because a lot of the concepts that you're learning as you exit the bachelor's degree are the foundational concepts you'll need for your start of your master's degree. So rather than you have to replicate those courses, we allow you to take kind of, you're almost wearing 2 hats. You're wearing your bachelor's degree hat in the last 6 courses, and you're also wearing your master's degree hat as you start your master's program. Right.
And then, sorry, last question. Are there any skills or training that you think would be helpful either before you start the degree or what you would be able to attain after getting the degree?
So there's no certain skill set you need. The wonderful thing about National University is it's open access. So there are no prerequisites or things like that for our program. If you have an interest in learning, then we want you. So the skill set, as I said, once you have an interest in learning, we want you to be passionate about it. We want you to be engaged. So you have those skill sets coming in, then this is the right program for you. The skill sets you have exiting are going to be You have an understanding of the law, and that's important since you'll be in effect enforcing the law. And then you have the skill set of being able to decipher when the law is being violated and what the application should be the result of that. Maybe it's use of force, maybe it's not. And then the most important piece, I think, is you're going to have these great communication skills. Listen, it's underrated. Law enforcement communication skills are underrated. You're going to have to write reports for the rest of your career. Report writing, it starts here. It's foundational with having good writing skills, right?
Right.
It's going to transition to if you have to testify in court. Your communication skills orally are important. You're going to refine those as you go through our program. And then those communication skills with members of the public. How are you diffusing? How are you scaling back conflicts? So those skill sets are important. And you see that played out almost weekly on the nightly news. Officers using those communication skills, sometimes the right way and sometimes not always in the right way. But we want you to have those skill sets so you make the right decisions.
Thank you so much, Professor, for such a thorough and in-depth glimpse into the CGA program. I think that concludes all my questions. I really, really appreciate you being here today. Thank you.
My pleasure. Have a good day. Take care.
You too.